This podcast is a part of the Rebel Without a Clue Media Network, featuring That Don't Work For Me Brother, Bullshitting, Slumber Party Massacre Luncheon, Black Manifold Transmissions, Horny Little Book Club, The Open Heart Podcast, Tripped Out and Crazy, Mad Dogs, and The Revolution Will Be Broadcast. You can find all of our podcasts on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube. Rebel Without a Clue, Strange Minds, Loud Hearts, No Apologies.
On my block, everything is everything for Sheezy. My block for Sheezy.
My block, where everything is everything for Sheezy. Hey dudes, welcome back. You're listening to another installment of the morning show, Shug's Hood. I'm your host of this show. My name is Big Shug. And I don't know, I was thinking some of you might be wondering where that sample came from that is in the intro. It, of course, is from the song My Block by Scarface. Now, Scarface is a rapper from, I believe, Atlanta. Let's get an overview on Mr. Scarface the rapper. Born Brad Terrence Jordan in 1970, better known by his stage name of Scarface. He was in the hip-hop group Ghetto Boys. I knew that. They're famous for their songs, Damn It Feels Good to Be a Gangster, Mine's Playing Tricks on Me, that kind of stuff. I remember, I always liked Scarface because Scarface was not really like a cool rapper. It wasn't about cars and money and bitches and that kind of stuff. I mean, that stuff, don't get me wrong, I'm sure Scarface has songs about that stuff, but Scarface made music that was darker. Scarface made music that was more cerebral. I believe Scarface is still making music. I don't know why I said was. Let's take a look at that too. See what kind of stuff Scarface got coming out recently. His most recent solo album was 11 years ago. Solo album, Deeply Rooted. Well, I just thought you guys might want a little bit of background knowledge on the sample that is in the intro song. Today on Shug's Hood, I hope everybody is having a slow morning. I hope everyone has their coffee at the perfect drinkable temperature for you. I hope everyone is excited about having a good weekend. And today, I am rolling up in a pom-pom. That's right, a pom-pom. Now, everyone has a method that they prefer for ingesting cannabis. Some people like a pipe. Some people like to roll it in a joint. Some people don't like flower at all. They like to stick to concentrates, and then you got to pull out a fucking torch. And I am currently rolling up in a pom-pom, and I guess I lost my train of thought there a little bit. When it comes to rolling, I like a blunt. A blunt, of course, is a cigar that has been gutted and the tobacco has been dumped out. And then you replace the tobacco with marijuana and you roll that sucker up. And that's what I like. I like a blunt. Blunts burn slow. Blunts burn for a long time. And you get a little bit of nicotine head rush from the paper. Because I didn't know this. I thought for a long time that because I smoked cigarettes from the time I was 15 until the time I was 30. I smoked cigarettes all day, every day. I was like a pack and a half, 2 packs a day smoker. And I thought that even though I was smoking blunts, I wasn't taking in any nicotine. because I had dumped the tobacco out. Now, I had a friend clue me in that that's not the case, and we had an argument in which I was very, very wrong, and speaking directly out of my ass. I don't know if you guys have ever done that. I tend to do that. So I was talking out of my ass saying, no, I dumped it out. I'm not getting any nicotine. There's no nicotine in the paper. There's no tobacco in the paper, blah, blah. Quick fucking Google, just a quick Google revealed to me that the paper on the outside of a cigar, even if it is not raw leaf that's been dried and rolled, they pulverize it. They pulverize tobacco and they make these sheets. There's a specific name for them. I've tried to order them before online in like big rolls so that I like have my own on hand, just an industrial roll of fucking blunt wrap. And they will not just sell that to me, which is probably good. But yeah, it turns out they pulverize tobacco for the paper. I didn't know that. And maybe some of you out there don't know that. So, here we go. All right. I think we're ready. Let me put the last little licks. And another reason, I'll be honest with you, that I prefer a joint or a blunt over a pipe, because a pipe is nice for the first bowl, and then it just tastes like burnt ass fucking bowl. You have to clean it after every use, and I'm like to keep a fresh hit, and I'm just too lazy for that. I'm not doing that. So all my bowls end up tasting like fucking roasted, nasty fucking res, and they stay that way for a while. Blunts don't do that. Another reason is you can smoke a joint or a blunt all the way down, and then there is no evidence. And that just comes back like that's like a trauma response from back when the most dangerous thing about weed was getting caught with it. Nowadays, I think people are more lax. I don't think I would really stress over having a roach or something like that, especially something that you could just eat. But I like it because you can burn it all the way down, and you don't feel like you're wasting anything, and you're getting rid of that evidence. Now, today we have in our pom-pom a little bit of one of my favorite strains, the Member OG. Now, Member OG is a cross of Temple Kush and Member Berry. Member Berry is another favorite of mine. It's really sweet, really berry tasting, usually purple in color. But what's interesting about this Member OG is once you cross it with that Kush, it kind of holds a purple hue, but the green of that Kush really comes in, and you end up with like these dense purple hued buds that are more green. I don't think it's as pretty as Member Berry, but Member OG is one of my favorite smokes. So let's light this sucker. Okay. Ooh, smooth. That's got some funk on it. Little bit of berry, not too much. Let's see what people say about this strain, and then I'll get into my review of it. The effects of Member OG generally bring on a fast, euphoric head high followed by a deep, weighted physical relaxation. It's widely chosen by consumers looking to ease physical tension without couch lock. And see, that's perfect for me. That is perfect. Relieve the tension, but don't get stuck. Okay. On the inhale, it's very funky. That's that Kush. Kush has this funk to it, almost like it can be gassy, it can be piney. It's that flavor of bud that's like when you taste something. I'm trying to think of how to describe that funk right at the end, like on that inhale. Let me get another hit. Musky. It's musky. Yeah. And then when you exhale, you get more of the sweet and the berry from the member berry. Let's see what kind of terpene profile we're working with on this. Because that's really what's going to give you your effects. Like indica and sativa, I don't know, man. People are going to throw a bunch of numbers at you if you go to a dispensary like, this one's 70% indica, 30% sativa. And I say that because that's what member OG is. But like, I don't want you to get too caught up in that. Like, the numbers are important. What you're really going to look at is your terpene profile and follow your nose. Like, when you're picking out bud, I think the snoot is the key to it all. Like, if it's got a fucked up smell, I'm not really going near it. If it's got a smell that doesn't just light up my brain and make me want to smoke it, I'm not gonna give you money for it. And that's just how that is. Let's see. This bud, where's our terpenes? So it looks like we got myrcene, caryophyllene, and in this particular batch, it looks like the caryophyllene pretty high. So it's going to be really sedating, really good for pain. And usually caryophyllene comes with this kind of peppery taste. And you kind of, now that I see that it's in there, you kind of get that on the back end. Or maybe that's placebo now that I'm reading it. I don't know, dudes. This bag in particular is from Highway Hotel. It's 24% THC. Now, I don't usually smoke if I'm getting something from a dispensary in Arkansas, I try to stay away from the Good Day stuff. And Highway Hotel is a offshoot piece of under the umbrella of Good Day Farms, and they're kind of the Walmart of weed. So but don't get me wrong, they've got some really good strains, right? Like their Malibu Mirage is great. Jealousy Banana Cream Cake is really good. They're doing good bud, but it's just so washed out, and you end up with stuff kind of like the Highway Hotel offshoot, which is not like premium. Do not get me wrong. It's coming from a dispensary. It's very smokable. It's very good, but it is not like top shelf. I tend to lean more into, I don't even know what that company's called anymore. It used to be Revolution. I think it's Tales and Travels and Revolution and another one now. Carpenter Farms, you can't hardly go wrong. Natural State Medicinals has some great bud that they really take care of and is usually a very fair price. And it's not this, Walmart weed. That's probably your main contenders in Arkansas. I haven't had, there are other just like cultivators. Leafology, I think, is still around. I never really got into many of their strains. They're real hit and miss. It can be kind of like, they get that like funky hay taste. Let's see, but this Member OG, what do we think of the Member OG? Okay. For the Member OG, the bag I have, I'm going to be super honest with you. The buds are not impressive. The buds are not even that pretty in structure, in just visually bag appeal wise. There's not a lot of color pop on these buds. Kind of small. They are indica shaped. And then the nose is super, super peppery, that caryophyllene. Like, and the more peppery is, when you think pepper, think more like a white pepper smell, if that makes sense. Have you ever had white pepper? It's got like, it's pepper, but it's like dust. Like, it's like dusty pepper. You know what I mean? Like closet dust. Kind of. It's not super appealing on the nose. It breaks down well. And that's the other thing, right? Is people have different ways that they like to prepare their bud as well. Look, a lot of people are going to say use the grinder. It doesn't waste keef, and it keeps the keef and it breaks the bud down super fine. I think in a blunt, I think it rolls better broken down by hand. I don't know. It's just what I've come to prefer and what I've found works consistently. I think that's just me. Other people have their way. And that's the thing about bud, right? Is we all get to do it the way we like it. Because we're all kind of breaking federal law anyway. So just do it the way you want to break it. Don't let anybody tell you how you should break federal law. Okay. I'm giving the member OG from Highway Hotel pretty much everything on it. The bag appeal's not great. The smell's not super good. I was given this bag by somebody to try because I like the member OG, but I usually go with the Good Day brand. And this was given to me, and we do not turn down bud. So here we go. We're going to give this, how do I feel though in my body? Definitely more relaxed, a little cloudy in the head. Let's give this a 2.5 out of 5. This is pretty run of the mill, nothing extravagant, but it's also very smokable. Yeah, 2.5. We're going to go 2.5 on this. I will be back for the member OG. It just will not be Highway Hotel, probably. I want something with a little more punch and a little more flavor. But I think this is going to be a very good bud to get our day started. I think it's going to be very level. And I don't think it's really going to climb on top of us. So, rock and roll. Let's go inside. Today, for our coffee review, we have a favorite little treat of mine to have at the house. We are going to review Dunkin' Donuts coffee. Comes in the orange bag. You can get it at the store. It's a little more expensive, but I think it's worth it for the boost in taste. Let's take a little sipsies. A little sipsaroo. Hey. All right. Here's the thing. Is this the best coffee I've ever had? No. Is it better than a lot of coffee I've had? Yes. The answer is yes. This is rich. This has a depth of flavor. It's not the deepest, but it has a depth of flavor. And it doesn't leave any kind of weird, bitter aftertaste or anything. It's just enjoyable all the way through. It's almost like, and this is controversial probably, but I think the best coffee for me, every time hits, dude, Waffle House. Waffle House coffee. That's not a joke. Waffle House coffee is not only life-saving, life-changing. And I put that on everything. But for the Dunkin', for the Dunkster, let's give this coffee a 7.5 out of 10. It's not artisanal. It's not like somebody hand selected these beans from a fucking grower in Africa or something. You know what I mean? Well, shit, dude. So what if somebody did? Whoa. Let's see where their beans come from. Let's take a trip taking a trip to Beantown in the Beanmobile. Where do they get beans for Dunkin' Coffee? Sources their beans from Central and South America, including major producing countries like Brazil. Uses 100% premium Arabica beans. Yeah, I know I can make my own at home. Thanks, Google. Okay, that has been our coffee review for the day. I think this is going to pair very nice with our member OG. I think it's going to be that bump we need to achieve perfect homeostasis. Viva los biodome. All right. Let's take a little look at the news with some good news. Now, this is good. This is good stuff. Okay. Every year for the last 34 years, a team of Japanese surgeons, dentists, and nurses has made the same journey through the Ho Chi Minh City's traffic, across the Mekong River, and into a rural hospital in Vinh Long Province to offer free cleft lip and cleft palate surgeries to people who might otherwise never receive them. That's pretty cool, dude. This year, 58 medical professionals from across Japan made that trip, dispatched by the Nagoya-based Japan Cleft Palate Foundation. One of the directors of the foundation said that this is like a second hometown for him. Every time I come here, I feel like I've come home. Cleft palates are among the most common birth defects in the world, and in many rural communities, the gap between a child who receives surgery and who doesn't can shape an entire life. That's true. But that's awesome that people are putting aside their time to do these surgeries for people who would never have a shot at getting anything like this done just because of where they live and access to, things that we take for granted all the time, like doctors and hospitals. I guess there's still some rural communities out here that don't necessarily have one nearby, but doctors helping kids. Good news. Let's see what else we got going on. Ooh, strangers team up to save wild horses trapped in deep mud pit. Friends of the Heber wild horses, formed out of love for the wild horses that are free to roam on thousands of acres in Arizona. Dude, wild horses. Can you imagine? I can't even imagine horses just out there doing their thing, not having to do those weird little dances we make them do, not making them race. Just letting them be fucking horses, man. They listen to the horses and monitor for signals and signs as to their well-being. So when a message arrived, need help, horse drowning in mud, that's not funny. They sprang into action. When they arrived, a couple had freed a young foal and had begun working to rescue a mare. Over the course of more than an hour, 7 dedicated individuals worked tirelessly to save the exhausted mare. The foal awaited. I think a foal's like let's see what a foal is. It's like a baby horse or something, or like a lady horse or something. It's a young horse. It's a little horse. It's a foal. Why do they call it a foal? Give me the money, foal. Yeah, and they pulled this mare to safety with communication, cooperation, and determination. Good news. Saving horses. Let's see. Let's look at this. 50 eye-opening questions to ask a child. Okay? 50 to ask a child. 50 eye-opening questions to ask your grandchildren. Let's see. Here are some questions that you can ask a child that are eye-opening for them, that will help them open their eyes to the world and their reality and the things around them. Let's look at this. Question number 1. What's something you're really good at? Question 2. If you could invite anyone in the whole world to dinner, who would you invite? Scooby-Doo. If you could walk into any book or movie, which would you choose? Scooby-Doo. If you could be any animal, which one would you be, Scooby-Doo? Would you rather be able to fly like a bird or swim like a fish? If you were a superhero, what would your superpower be? Let's see. Let's see if there's some real questions in here. This is a good question. I think you should ask a kid this question. Would you rather dance or paint what you are feeling? My God, imagine. How would you like to express the feelings that you're feeling? Would you like to dance? Would you like to paint about it? Draw? Some kids maybe need to go in a corner with a punching bag. That's dope too. That's fine. Let's see. How can you tell if somebody is smart? Ooh, that's a good question for a kid. I likes that. Let's look at one more. How do you think the world will be different by the time you are grown up? Good news. Let's look at some local news. Bluebell Ice Cream celebrates National Ice Cream Month with chocolate lava cake debut. Chocolate lava cake ice cream? Whoa, that's the member OG talking. Back to School Bash at McCain Mall offers free backpacks, face painting, and seat checks. What is a seat check? Saturday, July 25th, McCain Mall and Our House Shelter of Little Rock is inviting the community to the Back to School Bash and School Supply Donation Drive in North Little Rock. That's awesome, guys. The family-friendly event lends community members and families an opportunity to support students as the school approaches. Nice. So come out here and donate some stuff, and let's make sure kids have everything they need to go back to school so that they're not, worried about having a pencil or some stupid shit like that. You remember, there would be teachers that are like, if you needed to borrow a pencil, they made it the end of the fucking world, dude. And honestly, fuck them. Give that kid a pencil and shut the fuck up. And then, car seat check. Car seat check by North Little Rock Police. The police department is going to come out and make sure that car seats are good for the little ones. Awesome. So go to McCain Mall Saturday, July 25th. Donate some back to school supplies and be a part of the community and making sure that the future of this state and country and city get the education they need and aren't worried about having the things they need to do that. Ooh, I tell you what, I think we're going to kick off a new segment today, and this will be fun. It's called The Morning Jam. It's called Shug's Morning Bop. It's called Bopping in the Morning with Big Shug. I think today's morning jam to turn on after you listen to this podcast is going to be Dire Straits' Sultan of Swing. You're welcome. Now, let's do a vibe check. Let's see what's getting checked. All right. Got my hat. Ooh, it's a big 10-gallon cowboy hat with what? Ostrich feather. Today, we will vibe check the moon. Whoa, dude. Don't make me go in on the moon. Okay. Moon. Full moon. Werewolves. Rad. Witches. Rad. Real life witches that practice Wicca, doing naked stuff in the woods under the full moon. Rad. Let's see. Moon. The tide, maybe? And the waves and stuff is controlled by the moon. Somebody told me that one time. Let's double check that. I think Dave Matthews told me that from Dave Matthews Band. Real fans call him Dave. Let's see. The moon controls the tides. Okay. Picture this not just like a thing that, you know what I mean? I don't know. And the moon is hanging. That song's a vibe. What song is that? Shiny Ribs. Who hung the moon? Let's see. Shiny Ribs, who built the moon. Actually, I take it back. Don't listen to Dire Straits, Sultan of Swing. Listen to Shiny Ribs, who built the moon. It is a vibe. Songs about the moon, vibe. Pictures of the moon, vibe. Chicks in moon jewelry, vibe. Dude, the moon's fucking cool, dude. We went there. Neil Armstrong walked his ass on the moon. We beat the Russians there. That's fucking cool. I mean, is the moon all W's? Is the moon all W's? Moon vibe check. I think this is our first. I think this is our first 10 out of 10. I think the moon gets 10 out of 10. It's cool to look at. Glad it's there, and an American walked on that bitch. Science, space, the occult, all there. 10 out of 10. If you're not fucking with the moon, you should fuck with the moon. And the moon is hanging. All right, that is the vibe check. Now, let's leave you with a little bit of stoner wisdom. Stoner wisdom of the week. One of my favorite authors, probably my favorite author, is Kurt Vonnegut. Kurt Vonnegut's famous for writing The Sirens of Titan, Slaughterhouse-Five, Breakfast of Champions, Welcome to the Monkey House, Slapstick, Bluebeard, Thank You, Mr. Rosewater, God Bless You, Mr. Rosewater, Cat's Cradle, Mother Night, the list goes on. So Vonnegut spent a lot of time reminding us that people are messy, life is absurd, and trying to control everything is a losing game. So maybe the trick isn't figuring life out. Maybe it's noticing the little moments that make you glad you're here. So pet your dog, laugh with your friends, eat something good. It's not wasting time. That's the whole point. Thank you for listening to this second episode of Suge's Hood. I appreciate it very much. If you like listening to Suge's Hood, you should check out the other podcasts on the network. It's the Rebel Without a Clue podcast network. You can find all of our podcasts on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. Thanks for listening. This has been Suge's Hood.
On my block, where everything is everything for Sheezy. My block for Sheezy.